Did EcoWorthy fix their issues? We are about to find out. This is the EcoWorthy Cubix 100 Pro. I already did a full video review and testing on this battery. I will leave a link for that down in the video description. Now, one of the big claims that EcoWorthy made about this battery is that it can actually charge at a reduced rate below freezing, which is pretty crazy. Anyway, they've got some crazy something happening with the battery cells they're using. Will Prowse, who we all know and love, tested this same battery, and he put it in his giant battery freezer and then put it on his cycling machine and discovered that when this was below freezing, it would start charging and then stop charging, and then start charging and stop charging.
Now we're finally at temperature, 13 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 10 degrees Celsius. So now we're gonna charge with 100 amps. No way. It's actually working. Uh-oh, we're having an issue. And it shows there's no error codes. And it just stopped. We got 10 disconnects. So we're gonna set the cycle count to 1,000 and try the test again. Nope, still disconnecting. So it's constantly disconnecting, but the temperature is rising. Ah, so close. That one was a lot longer. So it doesn't seem to like this 100 amps when it's this cold. So those results were bad. If the battery is cold and I try to cycle with 100 amps, but it can only charge with 12 amps, it should know this and shut itself down. Now, a lot of server rack batteries have a special feature where they can actually throttle the current down to 10 amps and hold it there. And this is just in case you take a 100% battery and you connect it to a 0% battery. They will equalize over time with 10 amps. And I figured this battery would have that feature. Actually, let's open it up and see if it has an inductor, because that will tell us if it has a converter circuit and can regulate the current. There is an inductor. They just need better software. That's the problem. This should be able to regulate the current just fine. If they can just regulate that current on charging, it would be perfect.
So kudos to EcoWorthy. They took that feedback and supposedly created a fix via firmware to solve that issue. So today I'm going to do kind of my rudimentary testing. I unfortunately do not have a giant battery freezer like Will does, and I do not have a battery cycling machine. But we should be able to at least get some kind of testing done with my Victron Smart Shunt and a little bit of this stuff here to freeze some temperature sensors. And hopefully we can observe some of the behavior that this battery exhibits. By the way, it is super easy to update the firmware on this battery. You just connect with the Bluetooth app, make sure that all your dip switches are down, and you literally click a button in the app and it pushes the firmware update to the battery. And you can see here, we are running the latest version, 14.7.2. Like I said, we're going to be monitoring things via the Victron Smart Shunt. I know it says 100% state of charge. It's not. We're going to be starting at an 82% charge. We just want to monitor with the shunt how many amps the charger is pushing into the battery. Because in theory, when this goes below 0 degrees Celsius, it should throttle the charge current down to about 10 amps. And if we go below negative 20 degrees Celsius, it should completely shut the charging off. So we're going to just experiment with that and see what happens here. You can see I have set the charge current on the 12,000 XP here to 100 amps. We're charging really close to 100 amps, 96, 97 amps. The EcoWorthy battery is registering 97 to 98 amps. Let's try freezing one of these temperature sensors and see what happens. It did throttle down to 8 amps, 9 amps. This is saying 9.5 amps. Our minimum was negative there for a little while. It's coming up to 0. We should see the amps increase again as it goes above the minimum 0 degrees Celsius. Let's just watch here for a minute and see. Temperature climbing, 7, 9, 10 degrees Celsius, and now we're back up to 100 amps. I'm going to freeze that temperature sensor again, but this time I'm going to leave you guys trained on the screen so you can watch the temperature react. Here we go. There we go. It dropped down. Negative 6 degrees. Let's see if we can get it colder and get to completely shut off. Negative 15, negative 19, negative 20. Oh, look at that. Can you see that? We've got 0 current. We've got an alarm state right there. Now that it's rising again, it's got rid of that alarm. We're still at 0 amps. Now we're discharging a little bit. Have not started recharging yet. I may have to reset the 12,000 XP because the battery actually like shut things down. I heard the 12,000 XP turn off. Oh, here we go. Now we're going to start charging. We're back up to 100 amps. I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to train you on the Smart Shunt app just so you can kind of see what happens here. There's 10 amps. We'll see if we can just kind of keep this cold for a minute and just make sure that it doesn't do any funny stuff. So you can see it does indeed throttle the current. I don't see any disconnects or anything happening. It seems to be pretty smooth at this point. Okay, now let me train you on the temperature information down here at the bottom. Let's freeze this sensor again. There you go. This is in Fahrenheit, 25 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see it says limiting right here. So it's saying it's limiting the charge due to the cold temperature, 29 degrees. Probably drop here because I just sprayed it again, 17. Okay, let's freeze it a little harder till it disconnects again. There we go. We got an alarm, 2 alarms actually. Let's see what we got. So we got a discharge low temperature protection and then discharge low temperature protection again. So what happened is it got so cold that it just completely shut down. My EG4 12,000 XP is making all kinds of funny clicking sounds. It just actually went green again in its little circle there because the battery actually fully disconnected. You can see now our notifications have cleared because that temperature sensor is warmed back up. We're back to charging now, but at a reduced rate, 9.5 amps. And now we've just jumped back up to the high 90s. So my setup's a little more rudimentary than Will's. Maybe someday when I have a bigger channel and a little more money, I can buy a deep freeze specifically for battery testing. That would be a lot of fun. But from the testing I was able to do, it does indeed look like this throttles the current as soon as it hits 0 degrees Celsius. But it will still slowly charge even when it's that cold, all the way down to negative 20 degrees Celsius. As soon as it gets colder than that, everything shuts down. The 10 amp throttled charging, as well as the discharge of the battery until at least warms up above negative 20. Now, the other thing that seems to have been fixed is the turning off and on rapidly that Will experienced. Granted, I was not able to chill the entire battery, but during the time that I was running it, it seemed to just be holding steady with this new firmware. And by the way, what I'm about to say is not something that, EcoWorthy paid me to say or asked me to say or anything like that. We all know that Will excels at finding anything wrong with any product, right? Which is really, really good. And it certainly boosts confidence in a company that will take that criticism and run with it and release solutions and fixes to the issue. Already, EcoWorthy has been one of the best and safest batteries. You can see this one has like dual fire extinguishers on its lid right there, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I won't go into depth here in this video. Check out my full review to see and hear all of my thoughts on the safety and build quality of this battery. But I think it's fabulous when a company like EcoWorthy takes the criticism, runs with it, and releases a fix in a very short period of time. So anyway, at least for me, that gives me a little extra sense of comfort knowing that I've got a good product with a good company that stands behind it. So now, just for fun that I haven't seen anyone test, so might as well test while we've got this open, is high temperature protection. So I've got the heat gun here, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to heat up this temperature sensor, and we'll see, what temperature does the battery go into some kind of overheat, protection measures. 45 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Celsius, 56, 61. Oh, and it just cut off right there. So about 60 degrees Celsius, we got a notification, charging over temperature protection, charging over temperature protection. We also got a fault here on the screen. So let's let it cool down here, and we'll see when this fault clears and when we start charging again. Cooling off, we're 53 degrees Celsius at the moment. There we go. 49 degrees Celsius, it cleared, and we went back to charging. We're at a 26 amp rate. There we go. We're back up to full 97, 98 amps, 44 degrees Celsius. So that's comforting to see as well. Just get up to a fairly cool 60 degrees Celsius, all things considered. mean, no one wants to live in 60 degrees Celsius weather, but in the world of electronics and stuff, your computer can get up to 100 degrees Celsius on the processor if you're really pushing it pretty easily. So 60 degrees Celsius is very nice to see. And then it waits a full 10 or actually 11 degrees Celsius, somewhere right in there, before it triggers charging to resume. So comment, you guys. Tell me your thoughts and observations. Would you get this battery for a cold weather environment? It's not heated, but it can charge those cells below freezing, which is very unusual. Nothing that any other lithium iron phosphate battery in my collection or any others on the market that I'm aware of allows you to do. The nice thing about that is that, 10 amp current, when it's frozen, could slowly work to heat the battery up. So the energy that your charge controller is pushing into the battery is not just getting burnt up in battery heaters. It is actually going towards, charging the cells themselves. So that could definitely increase your efficiency. I'm a little skeptical still myself. I mean, it's just always been the case that you just don't let lithium iron phosphate batteries freeze. But these guys are saying it's 100% okay. They're standing behind their battery, and they're even, providing firmware and stuff to make it even more reliable below the freezing level. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts and observations. Don't forget to check out the full other videos that I've got linked in the description. I'll leave a link for this EcoWorthy battery down there as well in case you want to pick one up. You will be really hard pressed to find anything safer built on the market. That is for sure. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to those of you that do that frequently and on a regular basis for me. I recognize your effort, and I just want to say a huge thank you to your support and help in getting these videos in front of more eyeballs. YouTube algorithm just does not like pushing this kind of content. They want more of the viral, controversial stuff, and this does not fit that bill. So I really appreciate you doing those 5 free things and other ways of supporting the channel to help get this content out there a little bit. All of you stay safe, and we'll catch you all next time.